In near-total darkness, at depths reaching up to 1,000 meters beneath the ocean floor, there, monkfish doesn't chase its prey. It lures it in. From the top of its head grows a biological fishing rod called an elysium, its tip glowing and swaying gently like a living organism. And in that darkness, any movement becomes an invitation. The prey drifts closer, slowly, without suspicion, until one sudden snap. The monkfish's mouth can expand to an astonishing size, wide enough to swallow prey nearly as large as itself. No speed, no pursuit. This isn't a hunt, it's a trap. Its body lies motionless on the seafloor, perfectly camouflaged among mud, sand, and rocks. Once it blends into its surroundings, it nearly disappears. A creature that looks like a deep-sea monster, yet holds the value of a high-end delicacy. And the question is, if it lives so deep and lies still like a trap, how do humans even catch it? To catch monkfish, humans don't dive down to the seafloor. They pull the seafloor up. Offshore, fishing vessels leave the harbor at dawn, heading into cold waters where temperatures range from about 4 to 12 degrees Celsius. On board, everything is prepared for a process that isn't simple at all. It's industrial in scale. The bottom trawling system is deployed, sinking gradually into the darkness hundreds of meters below. There, a massive net begins to move, sweeping across the ocean floor, where monkfish lie motionless, perfectly camouflaged. There is no chase, no selection. When the net passes, everything in its path is taken. On deck, powerful winches roar to life. Steel cables tighten and tremble under the pressure of tons of weight from the deep ocean. After 2 to 6 hours, the net is hauled back up, heavy, dripping, filled with all kinds of creatures from the seafloor. The moment the net hits the deck, that's when the real work begins. Fish spill across the surface. Seawater, mud, sand, and living creatures mix together. The monkfish lie there, ugly, heavy, barely moving. Fishermen quickly sort the catch. The monkfish are kept and separated from other species, partly because of their value and partly because they know that even a slight delay in processing will quickly reduce the quality of the meat. But this job has never been safe. The deck is slippery, waves slam constantly against the hull, and tensioned cables can snap back at any moment. Every trip offshore carries real risk. And now the vessel heads back, carrying a full haul, transported ashore in preparation for the next step, one just as critical as the catch itself. The fish are moved into the most critical step, direct icing. Layer by layer, ice is packed over the fish, maintaining a stable temperature between 0 and 2 degrees Celsius. At this range, decomposition slows to a near halt, allowing the flesh to retain its firmness, a texture often compared to lobster, highly prized by chefs. And it's precisely blaguerie of these preservation steps that monkfish can travel far, from cold, distant waters to some of the most refined kitchens in the world.
As you stick it in here, as right underneath here we're going to find the liver as well. Now as you can see, anglers, they have 2 layers of skin.
The knife glides forward. The thick, tough skin is peeled away in large sheets. No scales, no intricate cuts, just force and technique.
This is quite big, so you can't take the liver out like this, but I like to cut a little bit up through between these 2 fins here. You can see inside here there are some blood veins that are connected to the liver. Sorry about that. And one more here, gently cut those loose. And we can hear the seagulls in the background that are very excited about this. And a few more of these wings. As you can see, there are quite a lot of them.
Beneath that ugly exterior, a block of white flesh is revealed.
I'm just going to put it into a bowl here. These are the rest of the livers. We cut from all the way back here.
Firm, smooth, clean.
Remove all the guts, everyone. You see, this is a big fish, so there is a lot of guts out of this one. So here is at the bottom here with the anus. Going to take all these guts and these. The next thing we need to do is that we're going to just at the middle of the side fin here. There is also through here both layers of skin. Just need to pull it tightly. So the first couple of times, just be very gentle and cut down along the way here, all the way down till we reach the anus, I assume. I don't know what's the fish word for that. So just cutting like that. If you hold the knife a little bit...
Almost all the value of the fish lies right here, the tail meat. Very few bones, thick muscle fibers, a texture remarkably similar to lobster.
So through there, 1, 2, 3, like that. And we can lift it up a little bit. And I just want to make sure that you don't cut into the actual meat. It's better to keep a little bit of distance and clean it up afterwards. So you can see there is a lot of thick skin to work through here as well. So all the way down there, like that. And we have that remote here is all you really need. As we are not entirely sure. My father has been fishing these for 20 years and he doesn't.
Everything else is almost entirely discarded. And yet, this small portion is exactly why monkfish appears in some of the most expensive kitchens in the world.
Alright, so just going to clean it up here a little bit, cutting down through this section. And now I can fix up this little mistake that I made here earlier and take off this skin, excess skin. Like that. Cut that off. And there we go. This is a big and nice guy. It's underneath the eye. I'm going to cut all the way down to the lips here. Now on this end you don't need to cut so far back. A couple of inches. Of course it's going to vary depending on the... A trick I have found over these last months as I've been doing this a lot is that if you just slice right underneath the second layer of skin here, you can release all the skin here without using your knife. Of course you can go in with your knife too, but I just find this to be so much easier and so much faster to get here to expose the cheek. Line that, go like this. Up here, you You want to be careful, don't cut up here. I'm going to show you a trick. Now if you put your little finger underneath there, you're going to see these white things. Pull at them, because there is one running through the meat there. Pull one all the way down, like that. And big, nice steak. All of this, the rest of the head, we are going to do how we're going to fillet the tail. Alright, so we're going to cut in against the tailbone here. Use that as your guide as you're cutting down along the fish there. Everything inside the fish is going to be entirely boneless, so don't worry about that. Just stay as close to the bone as you can as you're working your way down here. You definitely want to use a sharp filleting knife for this, since we're going to have to cut through some skin here. Here we're getting to the area with the skin. It's easier to just cut through it here like this than to take it off first, and just work your way all the way down to the bottom of the tail like we did here. From here, we're going to start working on the skin to take that off. Now we're going to take off both layers of skin to the degree that we can here. So the way we want to do it is to press the meat away from the spine area here. That way you're going to be able to expose more skin as you cut it, and just work your way all the way through the skin here. Don't worry if you don't get everything perfectly. You can see here we're going to clean it off a little bit here as well as we are taking.
And when it's cooked, what makes it so special?
Right, so I'm going to try and do this without getting in the way so you can see. Just take that wine, and I'm going to put half of that in there and just get that melting slowly. I'm going to put it on a medium heat, and once that starts to go.
In the end, monkfish is no longer a strange deep-sea creature. It becomes the centerpiece of a refined Mediterranean dish. Its firm, slightly springy flesh, often called the lobster of the sea, is perfect for slow braising, preserving its natural sweetness.
Put a little bit more in actually. It's about 50 grams. Which lots of what we're going to do. If we'll just cook them for 3 or 4 minutes until they just start to soften. We don't want no colour on them, so we'll cook those and we'll come back. It's my white wine. So I'll go with it. About 100 ml that was of white wine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that off and reduce it down a bit.
Thick cuts are quickly seared in olive oil to lock in flavor, then simmered with garlic, shallots, white wine, and stock.
A smaller saucepan to give it the final reduction. Obviously, I'm starting it in this so you get a better view of what's going on.
Saffron adds a golden color and delicate aroma, while capers bring a subtle briny balance.
So the other ingredients. Now I've never made this dish before in my life ever, so I'm winging it here.
Gently braised over low heat, the sauce seeps into every fiber. Simple ingredients, yet enough to highlight the monkfish's true quality.
So we'll let that reduce, and then we'll come back to that. I'll just show you what I've got there going. Obviously there's the shallots, the butter, the white wine and the fish stock. This is one of them dishes where you've got to get everything, the fish cooking 4 minutes. But you know, if I was to do a video and show you all the prep, we'd still be here tomorrow. Obviously I'm going to reduce that by half again. Now I'm going to add the special ingredient, this lovely saffron. You can see it there. A 6-ounce bottle of this can be purchased, and we're going to reduce that by half now. We'll bring that up to the boil. As you can see, that's reducing nicely to that. We'll get a bit of that. Let me lemon. Give that a stir up. Suppose it'd be rude not to taste it. So, you know, you could pass this through a blender, you know, through a sieve, but I like that. Big teeth, big mouth, a bit like the mother-in-law. Joking. So what I've done there, I'm just going to cut some little scallops of those, and that is what we're going to lay into our beautiful sauce. Have a look at that. There's my monk ready to go, and all I'm going to do is take these medallions now, mean, like I said, I've not made this before, but already I can tell, as maybe you can, that ain't no fail, baby. Show you some of that fish poaching, lovely. Looking like garnish. You get the tomatas, and we're just warming them through now for about another minute, 2 minutes, and then we're going to dish that up. I mean, that looks, the dog's danglers. With all the prep, but you have a look at that. You know, I've got high expectations of this.
And now let's shift our attention to another story.
Another bit of that. Obviously you want that monk still tender in the middle. And you know I hate doing this bit.
The deboning process here is exceptionally clean, precise, and tightly controlled. Each cut follows the natural structure of the carp, with the blade gliding smoothly along the bones to maximize yield while minimizing waste. What stands out most is the consistency. Every movement is intentional, reflecting real skill and experience. It's not just about speed, but about respecting the fish's structure and quality from start to finish. With the hard work of deboning complete, it's time to move into a more refined phase, where precision turns into finesse. In the sashimi stage, the focus shifts from technique to finesse. The carp is sliced into thin, even pieces, each cut carefully controlled to preserve its natural texture. The surface of each slice appears smooth and slightly translucent, reflecting both freshness and precision. What truly stands out in this step is balance, thick enough to retain the fish's subtle sweetness, yet thin enough to deliver that signature crisp bite. It's a quiet, refined moment where true craftsmanship shapes the final experience. Like a living trapdoor hidden in the sand, the halibut doesn't start life looking strange at all. When it's born, it swims upright like any other fish, with one eye on each side of its head. But a few months later, something almost unbelievable happens. One of its eyes slowly moves across the top of the skull, migrating to the other side until both eyes sit on the same side of its body. As it grows, the body flattens like a giant underwater board, and the fish turns sideways to live on the seafloor. With both eyes facing upward, the halibut can bury itself in sand and watch everything swimming above it. That bizarre transformation turns the halibut into a perfect ambush predator, almost invisible on the ocean floor. Which is exactly why catching one is never simple, because the giant lying in the sand is often already watching long before fishermen even know it's there. Out on the cold open water, the fishermen prepare for a hunt that demands far more than luck. Heavy rods, reinforced lines, massive hooks, every piece of gear has to be strong enough to face a giant that lives on the ocean floor. Because somewhere beneath the boat, a halibut the size of a door could be waiting in the sand. Then suddenly, the line goes tight. The rod bends hard, almost folding in half as the fish dives straight back toward the bottom. A giant halibut doesn't run fast. It pulls with raw weight, like trying to drag a living boulder off the seafloor. The fishermen brace their feet, muscles locked, slowly cranking the reel while the fish fights every inch of the way. Minutes feel long. Sometimes the fish wins backline. Sometimes the ocean itself seems to pull against them. But the fishermen hold.
Oh, you did. That's a tight drag.
Little by little, the massive shadow rises from the depths, breaking the surface in a violent thrash of water and power. And when that giant finally lands on the deck, the entire boat exhales. For a moment, the battle is over. The fight may be over, but the real transformation is only beginning.
Having a good flexible
The knife comes first, long, razor-sharp, steady in the chef's hand, a single tool for a massive halibut.
Open the tail up, starting at the tail on the white side. Come in here.
Then the hardest moment, the first cut.
Just inside the skin, staying above that fin there. Come on. Get inside the skin, you'll feel that backbone. Run along that. As soon as you get up here by the pectoral fin,
The blade glides along the spine, carefully separating flesh from bone. One precise movement after another as the fish slowly opens.
take the knife in, make your first cut, and jump over these bones here.
And then, the reveal.
Made.
Thick, snowy white fillets lift cleanly away from the frame, each section separated with surgical precision. What was once a giant fish becomes perfect, pristine cuts of halibut.
Start the second fillet on this side. You're going to find the belly cavity, which is right here. Cut down to the fin, up to the backbone. So you can make it. Switch back over to your longer knife. The knife. And on this larger fish, there you go. All the way through to your fin.
And once the fillets are ready, the journey moves into a gentler rhythm. The quiet preparation of the aromatics: fresh ginger, garlic, scallions, and cilantro, each carefully sliced and laid out with intention. The ginger is placed gently over the steaming Pacific halibut, where its warmth slowly seeps into the tender flesh, enhancing the fish while letting its natural ocean sweetness remain the star. When the fish is ready, it is lifted onto the plate and lightly drizzled with soy sauce, adding a deeper savory note. Fresh scallions and cilantro are scattered over the top, bringing color and brightness. Then comes the final moment, the hot oil poured slowly over the herbs. A soft sizzle rises, and with it, a wave of fragrance that signals the dish is complete.